Just a real quick vid with regards to the S5000 and the S6000. If you don't have the USB card and you don't, when you've upgraded, like you're running like Windows 11 or whatever, that kind of makes the USB card redundant. You can't really use it. If you're not going to do virtual boxes and stuff, fair enough. But there's something I've noticed that some people don't mention about the S5000 and the 6000 is that you can still use recycle. You can still, so what you do is choose your brake or whatever you want chopped up, and then you go to export. You make sure that it is a Akai AKP format. Brake, save that, and when you do export it, make sure you export with the MIDI file and everything. Export that to a folder, which I've already done, so there's no need for me to do it. Now, on my S5000, I have a SCSI to SD card. It's an external one, so I can move it around with samplers. It's not fixed on anything. So I pop out the card out the reader. Use one of these readers, put the card in there, bung it in the computer. The S5000 and S6000 drive shows up. Just chuck your exported Rex file in a folder, name it Eamon or whatever you've chosen, and then you go to here. And I've got auto load, which is what sets up my templates when I start up the machine. If you go down, so I'm left-handed, so load folder, Eamon brake, load. So you go to samples, program, everything, execute. That's loaded it in. Go back up to your main menu thingy. Again, sorry for the hand. Eamon, there. Then you chuck the MIDI file into your DAW or whatever you're using, and there you have it. And it's all as you would have sent it, chopped up as you would have sent it via SCSI. And of course, with that, I mean, the whole fun of that is like, you know, like tuning and stuff. Can I tune all, or do I have to set? Yeah. And that works for the Z or Z samplers, but even easier, just throw them on a thumb drive and then chuck them in. I'll just say now, with regards to sound, people sometimes not too sure whether to get these S models of the 5 and 6K or the Z4 and 8. These have a slightly grainier sound, so if you want a little bit more character on your samples, get one of these. It has a lot to do with it, but if you a lot to do on there, you can do all sorts of stuff on there. But the Z's, the Z's, they really kind of in modulation kind of take on the EMUs really for that. So if you wanted lots, say you were using it as it was intended, a real workhorse sampler, then the Z are very good. Loads of modulation stuff there. Also, another thing I see a lot of people saying, because I've loaded samples from a drive, from the computer, from a drive onto it. Most people say, oh, how do you get samples in and out? If you really want sort of character and stuff on a lot of your samples, obviously something like the Rex files and that there are really handy. So you would use that if you really want to get a break going. But don't forget to sample into your sampler. It adds character to it. Another thing to mention, Eamon Tobin used a 6000 to do his bricolage, hello darling, that fucking album, he did that on a 6000. My mate went to school with him and fired a fire extinguisher into his head. It's a pretty mad claim to fame for someone, isn't it? And the Avalanches used a 5000 on their second album, so they're pretty good. They don't let people tell you that they're too clean. They are clean, but they've got a certain character to them. When you see things where people say they've got no character at all, it's like, you know, they say like a 3000 XL's got no character. It does have a sound. It's not the same sound as like the the 3000 Classic or the 1000 and the S950, which is another thing in itself. But they do have a character, and they are quite good. It's got loads of stuff on it. I mean, it's only really bested by, say, in the Akai range, bested by the ZZ range that came after, which has a lot of stuff on it. But the build quality is not as good. These are quite nice machines. They're quite nice machines, well built. So there you go. Actually, should use this to make some new tunes while it's all set up like that. Yeah, Agents of Rush comeback tour. I'd just like to thank my mum, my dad, your mum, your dad, kids. I don't have any kids. Need to grab some kids and just thank them. Just go outside and thank anyone. Just grab a kid and say thank you. What do you reckon? White on white, white, black, white. I don't know what you'd call it. Let's go to that. Actually, I quite like that. It's like I don't know. It's like paper. It's getting a bit trippy now, isn't it?